Okay, the informal meeting of City Commission's called to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Brown? Dr. Estrop?
Here.
Mrs. Houston? Here. Mrs. Tackett? Here. Mr. Rue?
Here. Brian.
Yes, Commission, tonight we have one work session, and with us tonight is Executive Director of the Clark County OIC, which is Opportunities for Individual Change, and that is Leslie Crew. So with that, I'll turn it over to Leslie for her presentation and introduction as the new director for a little bit of time now.
Oh, Les, could you bring your microphone in front of you? There we go, so we can all hear you.
How's that?
There we go.
Better?
As long as we can
Okay.
hear you, it'd be great.
All right. Thank you for having me. Good evening. I appreciate the invitation to let us speak on behalf of OIC tonight. With me, I have Trish Griffin, our Director of Operations, Amy Swank, our Director of Finance, and Tim Durnell, our Director of HEAP Programming. So thank you for having us tonight. We appreciate you letting us have a chance to talk. OIC, for those of you that aren't familiar with us, we are a community action agency serving Springfield and Clark County with the mission to provide services designed to reduce poverty and promote employment and education here in Clark County. A little bit of history. OIC began let me do this. Okay, there we go. OIC began serving Springfield and Clark County in 1971 as the Opportunities Industrialization Center Springfield. This organization was under the principles of civil rights activist Dr. Leon Sullivan, who believed in providing tools people needed to overcome the barriers of poverty. Carol Scott was the director of Springfield Urban League at that time and felt that Springfield could use the same type of training for economic stability. She established OIC here in Springfield and provided training for job opportunities to help families get off welfare. Quick note, there is a great YouTube documentary on Dr. Leon Sullivan. He was, it's called A Principled Man. It's about an hour long. It's very interesting in that he was the first African-American board member at Chevrolet, and he was able to lead activist activities so that in South Africa could bring down the apartheid. And what I thought was interesting as a local girl, my dad retired from Navistar, my father-in-law retired from Navistar, and International Harvester was one of the first companies that bought into that commitment. So it's a cool documentary if you want to learn a little bit more about where we came from. In 1989, OIC was designated by the state of Ohio and the Office of Community Assistance as the Community Action Agency serving Clark County. So that's a little bit about what how we've come about. We offer programming in crisis. We try to encourage independence from government assistance. And most community action agencies have either Head Start as a component, weatherization. We at OIC have the HEAP programming. We like to offer a hand up and not a handout. We give support to community members during the difficult times, offering utility or rent assistance through HEAP programming. We also offer vocational training and employment coaching while unemployed. We also offer an alternative school for credit recovery for students that need a little bit more than the typical classroom. So community support. Over the last several years, OIC has worked diligently to support community organizations and community needs. Since 2023, OIC secured ARPA funding on behalf of Sheltered Inc. to ensure homelessness services could continue with proper eligibility and fiscal oversight. To date, since 2023, we have processed 1,041 applications and distributed $1.3 million in reimbursement to their organization for services for qualifying individuals at no cost to Sheltered Inc. We've had staff members that will help their staff process applications, ensure that they have all the necessary documents for eligibility, and then we have fiscal oversight that ensures that all steps have been checked and balanced. So I feel like that's a pretty good neighboring effort on our part. Also in 2023, OIC was identified as the fiduciary agent and a grant awardee on behalf of 9 partnering agencies to help work on the gun violence issues that were a part of our community. CVI, PI, Community-Based Violence Intervention and Prevention Initiative was established. How that all began, Judge Lancaster from Juvenile Court came together with some invested organizations who were recognizing that the gun-related charges were happening at a much younger age each year. And she approached several organizations to see if they would be willing to invest not only their time, but also their finances to come together, work around a table to try to come up with some solutions. And so the organizations that committed, I want to make sure I get everybody their props, Springfield City Police, Clark County Juvenile Court, Springfield City School District, Clark County Sheriff Department, Springfield Foundation, Mental Health Recovery Board of Clark Greene and Madison Counties, Clark County Combined Health District, and the NAACP all work together in partnership. At that time, it was identified that OIC was the best organization at the table to apply for this federal grant that Judge Lancaster had come upon through the Department of Justice. So we applied, gathered community information, and were awarded. So in 2023, we also identified Case Western Reserve University as a qualified research university to help conduct the community needs assessment. We hired one full-time staff to work as the coordinator, and in that time, completed strategic planning with all the participating organizations. In November 2024, we submitted a budget revision to begin implementation of the strategies that were identified on this strategic plan. We waited over 6 months to receive approval for the budget revision. On April 16th, 2025, we were granted approval of these revisions, and 6 days later, the grant was terminated. 373 grants throughout the country were terminated with no warning, effective immediately from the Department of Justice. 80 plus were gun-related grants. I know that there's been kind of some scuttle around why we haven't documented the strategic plan, why it hasn't been published, that kind of thing. It was determined at the time that we wanted to wait until the revisions were approved so that we knew exactly what we were spending the money on. By the time we got ready to do that, then it was terminated. And so it wasn't for a lack of transparency, it was just a lack of timing in order to do so. So I want to be very clear that we handled ourselves with all the mandatory requirements of that grant. Since then, since April 22nd, we filed an appeal on April 30th. We had spent down $400,000 in expenses for consultant fees, the community needs evaluation, the coordinator, project and fiscal oversight, and the strategic planning. We actually accrued $40,000 in the month of April that we paid out for, and due to the termination, are in the hole for now. We've reached out since April 30th 4 different times to our grant manager. No further on what's to come. So that is. So now we want to get back to our business. As we've worked hard to support our neighboring organizations, it's now time to get back to our business. We're moving forward to continue our home energy assistance programming, increase our adult vocational training, and recruit for our Learning Opportunities Center. I want to give you a little bit more detail on each of our programs in case you may not be familiar with what we offer. Currently, our HEAP program, we have Summer HEAP, PIP, and Winter HEAP. It's home energy assistance programs. If clients are eligible, they have a large package to fill out. We have case managers on site that do a very good job of assisting. We have a drive-through attendant. You can drop it off. You can come back, you can come back, you can come back with whatever documents that you didn't have the first round, and they will assist you on what is necessary for a completed packet to process the application. To date, over the last fiscal year, we've served 3,100 plus clients and provided over $210,000 in assistance. That particular program is located at 600 West Main Street. They're open from 8 to 12, have a lunch hour now, and then they close out 1 to 5. And then I listed the phone number if you would like to are in the thick of learning a new system with the state. A lot of bumps, trials, to get going, but we're doing our best. And I want to give praise to our staff. They're working really hard to still meet clients' needs and answer all their questions and process paperwork. And we're still trying to learn a new system. So typical of social work. Okay, adult workforce training. OIC offers workforce training. We have CLA and CLT and forklift certification. We just recently contracted with PJFS to offer a new career exploration training. We have vocational readiness instructors that assist clients in their aptitudes and interests. We're going to be utilizing the youth science assessment Chamber offers to all of our school students. We're going to use that for the adults, and then take that, and then we have these really neat virtual headsets that people can actually dive in a little bit further into what their skills might be or interest might be, to actually see what it would be like in that particular type of career. Then we assist with resume building and interview coaching. We have the ability to do some translation for non-English speaking adults. We're working hard to build partnerships with local businesses for interview and placement. All of that training takes place at our Urban Training Center at 26 South Yellow Street. That's the number if anybody's interested. We're actively recruiting. We have flyers at our Heap location as well. Anxious to get that started on Monday. Oh, I went too fast. I'm sorry. Let's see. Right, Learning Opportunities Center. Okay, so we also offer an alternative school for credit recovery. Youth that go there are ages 16 to 21. It's located at 10 South Yellow Spring Street. During the regular school session, they're open 8:30 to 2:30. During summer session, we go year round. They're open from 8:30 to 11:30. This is, I would say, supported pretty heavily by Springfield City Schools because most of our students are from Springfield City. We have the ability to offer community service, vocational exploration, and training. We have had a larger enrollment in the past, and we'd like to get that going again. So we're just trying to get the word out that we are available. And then I listed the phone number for that as well. That's what I have. I wanted to offer, if I may, a few final points. I watch these meetings every other Tuesday, and it's been quite a learning curve. I've been in this community my whole life. I've done social work my whole life. I've been with Rocking Horse Center. I've been with JFS. I've been with FCFC. I've been with Whitburg. My life has always been about advocating on behalf of kids and families. What I will say about this community is that anyone that's a frontline worker, anyone that's in the social services field, anyone that's in a government position, I know that your heart's in the right place. I know that you're working for the right reason. I know that you're all advocates for people that are disadvantaged. I think it's important for people that come to these meetings, participate. I think it's wonderful that you offer the opportunity for them to ask questions, even challenge decisions that are made. I think it's great that we have this forum. I would encourage people to offer support or solution rather than speculation. I think that all of us that have done this a minute aren't doing it for the money. We're not doing it for any kind of fame. We're doing it because we care about people and we want a better community. And so I would encourage people and challenge people in a different way to look for ways that you can volunteer, look for ways that you can ask to be on a board, participate in Leadership Clark County, participate in United Way's Day of Service, participate in Social Services 101 so that you know what this community does. We do a lot of good for a lot of different people, and I think that that's what we should focus on more during these meetings.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to say, not to lob a compliment back to you, but when I heard you were taking this role, I was very excited because I'm very familiar with your passion for this community and your longevity here. So it was an excellent decision for the OIC to bring you on. I really appreciate them making that decision and you saying yes. I mean that. And thank you for your presentation tonight and all the bumps that you've had in the road with the funding challenges. I know Dr. Estrop's been looking into that as well, and how it's impacting all of us. And we know it's majorly impacted you as well and your organization. Is there other, thank you. Is there other comments from commissioners or questions? Dr. Estrop?
I had the good pleasure to work with OIC and also with you when you were involved in the family council work.
Yeah.
Congratulations. The work that OIC is doing in addition to the work of the Springfield City School District and other educational institutions is critical for our community. It's shaping the future. It is tomorrow, but it's here today. So I just want to encourage you to grow that partnership. As you mentioned, I think it's a critical one. You also provide, through the HEAP program, some incredibly important funds to keep people from the worst of all possible, not having availability of utilities, particularly in the winter months. I would encourage you, if you have time, Leslie, to stay. Unfortunately, all of our work is getting a little more challenging, and we have some updated financial news to share with everyone tonight.
I'm just going to say thank you for coming and presenting. I thought some of the stuff you said was really interesting. And then I guess my only ask, and I'm sure you plan on doing this already, is just give us an update if you hear anything on this CVIPI.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you for everything you're doing.
So you and I go way back. You mentioned leadership,
We
Clark
do.
County. So
We
that
do.
was, we were class of '08 together. So it's been a long road for us, but I want to commend you. Mike has picked the right person to carry on the torch of OIC. You have a great staff over there, and it's really impressive the uniqueness of OIC, that you have such a diverse portfolio and making such a far impact within our community, from homelessness to youth to jobs, to heating. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being a great partner, being a great collaborator with all the organizations. And we're just, we're lucky to have you guys. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Is there a motion to adjourn the hearing?
So moved.
It's been
Second.
moved and seconded. Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Houston,
Yes.
Mrs. Tackett,
Yes.
Dr. Estrop,
Yes.
Mr. Rue.
Yes.